A man overheard the woman he was about to marry say she wasn't sure he was worth it. There were 5 days left before the wedding. He didn't yell. He didn't argue. He simply said, "All right, you can go." And while she was boarding a flight to Hawaii with another man, he canceled everything: the venue, the catering, the photographer, and froze every single one of her bank accounts. She found out when she tried to pay her first bill at the hotel.
My fiancé said I wasn't worth it 5 days before our wedding, so I froze her bank accounts. I'm going to tell you exactly how 3 years of a relationship ended on a Tuesday night on a couch with the TV turned off. My name is Aldo. I'm in my early 30s. I work with projects, deadlines, organization, and that night I got home later than usual, my head full of pending tasks. The wedding was in 5 days. I had taken the next week off. I was in that automatic mode of someone finishing one phase of life and about to start another. Kimberly was sitting on the couch. No TV, no phone, nothing. Just staring into nothing. That alone was enough to make me stop. Kimberly wasn't a quiet person. There was always something: a story from work, a comment about a video, a small complaint, a "how was your day?" That silence didn't fit her. I put my things down, sat in the chair across from her. "You okay?" She took a few seconds to answer, hands clasped, fingers tense. "Yeah, well, not exactly." That "not exactly" hit me like a hollow feeling in my stomach I couldn't name yet. "What happened?" She took a deep breath. "The kind that comes before a confession, not a conversation. Promise you won't get mad." "No one says that before something small." "Depends on what it is," I replied calmly. She shook her head. "No, promise for real." I looked at her. Thought about the 3 years, the plans, the trust I believed was there. "All right, I won't get mad. Go ahead." That's when she finally looked me in the eyes. I feel pressured.
Pressured is an exit word disguised as a request for space. When someone uses it 5 days before a wedding, they're not describing a temporary feeling, they're testing whether you'll let them go.
I tried to rationalize. Pre-wedding anxiety is real. A lot of people go through it. I told her that. She shook her head again, firm this time. "It's not just that. Silence. The kind that announces something that can't be undone." Once said, "Then what is it?" And she said it. "I've never been with another man. You're the only one. And I want to know what that's like." No raised voice, no drama, just direct, almost clinical. I stared at her for a few seconds without moving. "So you're saying you want to be with other men?" "I don't want to do it behind your back," she said quickly. "That's why I'm telling you now." In her mind, that was honesty. In mine, it was something else entirely. "We're 5 days away from getting married," I said. "And you decide to tell me this now, because I don't want to cheat on you," she insisted. "I'd rather be honest before making a mistake." I didn't raise my voice, but something inside me shifted, not with anger, but clarity. "What do you want me to do with that?" "I want you to give me time." "Time for what?" "To think, to figure out what I want." I looked at her, trying to find something: genuine doubt, real conflict, anything that justified what I was hearing. What I saw was a decision already halfway made. "You want to be with other men during that time?" She didn't answer right away. That silence was enough. "I don't know," she said. I exhaled slowly. "You do know." Kimberly started crying, said it wasn't like that it wasn't that simple. "You just said it," I replied. "You want to try other people before deciding if I'm worth it?" "Don't say it like that." "How should I say it?" She didn't answer. Silence filled the room again. 3 years, a wedding in 5 days, money invested, families involved, and it all came down to, I want to see what else is out there. "All right," I finally said. She looked up. "What? You can go?" Seriously? She stared at me, waiting for something more. Emotion, reaction, nothing came. "You're not going to get mad?" I said I wouldn't. She nodded slowly. "Thank you, really. I didn't want to hurt you." I didn't respond. She grabbed her bag and left. The door closed. And for the first time since the conversation started, I was alone with everything that had just happened. I looked around, the furniture, the decorations we had already started organizing, the boxes, the shared life, everything was still there. Nothing was the same. I didn't do anything that night. That's what surprises people the most when I tell this story. No explosion, no long messages, no impulsive calls, just silence. I barely slept, not crying, not thinking about reconciliation. My mind spent the entire night organizing a list. There are 2 types of people when something like this happens: those who react emotionally and those who switch into resolution mode without even noticing. I fell into the second group. The next morning confirmed I hadn't made the wrong decision. I was answering messages when I saw a notification. Kimberly had posted a story. I opened it almost automatically. It was a photo taken at an airport. She was stepping off a plane with a wide smile, sunglasses on, light clothing. Next to her, a man. They weren't holding hands, but the closeness wasn't casual. In the background, a partially visible sign. Hawaii. I stared at the image for a few seconds. I didn't feel jealousy. It wasn't immediate anger. It was confirmation. 5 days before our wedding, she needed time. Less than 24 hours later, she was somewhere else with another man. I closed the app, didn't react to the story, didn't comment. I just went on with my day.
She didn't wait. That's the detail that destroys any "I needed time" narrative. Someone who genuinely needs time to reflect on a 3-year relationship doesn't board a plane to Hawaii within 24 hours. The plan already existed before the conversation. The conversation was just the formalization.
Pay attention, this changes everything. A few hours later, my phone rang. It was her. I waited a few seconds, then answered. What did you do? Her tone was completely different from the day before. Not reflective, not hesitant, agitated. What are you referring to everything? She snapped. I just got here and my entire family is against me. Why did you tell them that? The way she asked stood out. She didn't ask what I said. She asked why I said it. I just explained why the wedding was canceled. You didn't have to do that, she insisted. That was between us. It's not when there's a wedding and hundreds of people involved. You were impulsive. She paused. You could have rescheduled. I just needed time. I already gave you that. Not like this, she replied. Canceling everything was an overreaction. Not for me, she tried to shift her tone. Aldo, her voice softened. It wasn't that serious. I just wanted to think, and now you can. But you didn't have to destroy everything, she said. We invested so much in this. That word made me pause. She didn't say we built something. She said we invested. Exactly, I said. And that's why I'm not going to keep investing in something that no longer makes sense. She started crying. I didn't think you'd react like this. I said I wouldn't get mad, and I'm not. Then why are you doing all this? Because I don't want to marry you anymore. That was the first time I said it out loud. On the other end of the line, her crying intensified. You're overreacting, she said between tears. I just wanted to live a little before getting married. I didn't respond. It's not fair to punish me for being honest. I'm not punishing you. Yes, you are, she insisted. You canceled everything without thinking about me. I thought exactly about what you said. That made her more irritated. You're selfish. Maybe. I can't believe you're doing this. I couldn't believe what you told me. Silence. Then you know what? Forget it. And before hanging up, you're a bad person. The call ended. I stared at my phone with no intention of calling back. I thought that was the end for the day. I was wrong. A few hours later, she called again. I answered almost immediately. What did you do to my cards? What are you referring to? They don't work, she said. I tried to pay and they were declined. I froze the accounts. Silence. A mix of disbelief and rising anger. What? I froze the accounts? Why would you do that? She snapped. That's my money. It's my money. You can't do that. I'm in another country. I know. I didn't bring cash. I can't pay for anything. Then you'll have to figure it out. Aldo, this isn't funny, she said, clearly shaken now. I need those cards. No. Why are you doing this? Because you made a decision. I didn't make a decision, she fired back. I just said I needed time and you're using that pause. You're heartless, she said finally. You have no empathy. I have boundaries. I just wanted to live a little before getting married. Is that so wrong? No? Then why are you reacting like this? Because I'm not going to finance it. She went silent for a few seconds. You can't leave me like this. You're not alone. I am. Then let him pay. Her breathing became uneven. I can't believe this. I can. You're cold, she said. Really cold, maybe. I never thought you were like this. I never thought you were like this either. Silence again. I could hear her crying. I just wanted to be happy, she whispered. Then be happy.
When the money disappeared, the trip lost its meaning. That's the key detail. He wasn't being cruel, he was refusing to participate.
I blocked her. Not just her number, social media, email, every direct line. I didn't want to stay in that loop of calls, accusations, and explanations that led nowhere. The next few days were strangely quiet, not comfortable but clear. No messages, no interruptions, no tension waiting for her next move. I used that time to finish everything. Final cancellations, partial refunds, reorganizing finances. I started removing her things from the apartment, not all at once, but enough to make the separation real. I didn't hate her. I just didn't want her near me anymore. I'm calling about something important. Don't let her into your home. That caught me off guard. Sorry, she's back, he continued, and things didn't go the way she expected. I stayed silent, let him talk. The man she went with left her there, he said, pretty much right after they arrived. That didn't surprise me as much as it should have. She only came back because she had a return ticket. She got here a few hours ago, tried to stay with us. His tone shifted slightly. We didn't let her, that caught my attention. Why? Because what she did, he paused, like it was difficult to say, was disrespectful to everyone. To you, to us, to the entire situation. It didn't sound like anger. It sounded like disappointment. I understand, I said. Aldo, I'm not calling to justify what she did. I just want to avoid more problems. There won't be any problems. She might try to go to you. I looked around the apartment instinctively. I won't let her in. That's what I needed to hear. Pause. I'm sorry for what happened. You didn't deserve this. That sentence coming from him carried more weight than I expected. Thank you. Take care. The call ended. I stood there for a moment processing. No anger. Just a sense of closure slowly settling in. Less than 2 hours later, someone knocked on the door. 3 quick knocks, then silence. I didn't move right away. I already knew who it was. Another knock, this time louder. Aldo, I know you're there. Her voice, tired, broken, different from the calls. I stood up slowly and walked toward the door, stopped just before opening it. Aldo, please, she sounded like she had been crying for hours. I just want to talk. I leaned slightly closer to the door but didn't touch the handle. I'm not here to fight, she continued. I need you to listen. Silence on my side. Then, I made a mistake. Her voice cracked on that word. I thought I needed something else, something more exciting, and I was wrong. I closed my eyes for a second, not because I was considering opening, but because I already knew exactly where this was going. I shouldn't have left like that, she said. I shouldn't have said those things. A soft sound, her hand resting against the door. I didn't think you'd actually let me go. That sentence stayed in the air, not loud, but heavy.
This is the real moment, not when she left, but when she realized leaving had consequences. Most people don't regret the decision. They regret the outcome.
I just want to come back, she whispered. We can fix this. We can still get married. We can know. I said it calmly, not loud, not aggressive, just final silence. What? No. A few seconds passed. You're serious? Yes. You're not even going to open the door? No. Her breathing got heavier. You're just going to leave me out here? Yes. You're really doing this. I already did. Another silence, longer this time. Then the shift came, from sadness to frustration. All of this because I needed time, she said, her voice rising. Because I was honest with you? No. Then what is this about? It's about what you did with that time. That stopped her, completely. You don't get to walk away, test something else, and come back like nothing happened. I wasn't testing anything. You were on a plane the next day. Silence. You didn't hesitate. She didn't respond, because there was nothing to respond with. I didn't yell, I continued. I didn't argue. I didn't try to stop you. So why punish me now, she snapped. I'm not punishing you. Then what is this? I'm choosing not to stay. Another pause. This time, quieter, almost empty. I came back for you, she said. You came back because it didn't work. That one landed. You could hear it in the silence that followed. Aldo, her voice softened again. Please, just open the door. Let me in. We can talk properly. I looked at the handle. Didn't move. No, a small sound on the other side, like her forehead touching the door. I have nowhere to go. That's not my responsibility anymore. You're really gonna leave me like this? Yes. No hesitation. No pause. Just truth. Her breathing started breaking again, not loud crying. The kind someone tries to hold back. I didn't think you'd be like this, she said quietly. I didn't think you would either. Silence. One last attempt. We had a future. No, I said. We had a plan. And then you walked away from it. Nothing came back after that, just quiet. After a few seconds, I heard movement, slow steps, fading, until there was nothing. I stayed there for a moment, still facing the door, not waiting for her to come back, just letting it settle. Then I turned around, walked back inside, and didn't look back again.